Hey, what's going on? Sorry, we had some technical difficulties while trying to figure out how to YouTube Live. We were super excited about it happening, and it didn't quite work out the way that we had hoped. Don't worry, we're going to get it figured out. We promise the next time it'll run a lot smoother than how it did just a little while ago. Hold on, I want to make sure you guys get that sweet-ass Ray Langford jersey right there in the background. Hold on, let me see if I can do this without messing it up. Oh, what do we need? We got it right there? What do you think? What do you think? Oh my God, it's beautiful! Look at it, it's beautiful! Are we live yet? I don't even know what's going on. I'm stuck in a weird little paradoxical world. I don't know what's up or down. Hey, good evening. What's going on? Oh God, I can't see. Shul, hey, Ryan, GM Gersh. All the good people are joining. I like that. Again, I want to apologize to everyone for both myself and Cardinals Gifts. We came this close to getting this thing to work out how we had hoped with YouTube Live. But we promise once we get that thing squared away, that YouTube Live feature, you're really going to be in for a treat because we have some extra special things planned there. The system's a little bit better than Periscope, and personally, I think when YouTube Live, once we get the handle of that, it's going to be a lot better. But again, we want to apologize for the trouble that we had. Let's get rolling, huh? Oh, Dan Urker joined. Hey, that's my buddy Dan. Dan and I had a sad moment this week when Matt Albers signed with the Milwaukee Brewers. My buddy Dan, he calls Matt Albers, hey, smooches, baby doll. He calls Matt Albers the pastry chef, or someone calls him the pastry chef. I don't know. All I know is the Cardinals bullpen is in worse shape because they don't have the pastry chef. But lo and behold, we do have Edward Mujica as part of the fine bullpen mix, potential for a bullpen spot. I'll tell you what, if you don't feel good about the Cardinals bullpen with Edward Mujica and potentially in the back end, then you're not living in 2013. Let's see. I'll talk about Leone. So I will say that I don't know nearly as much about Leone as the very, very, very talented and better about understanding pitching than myself, STL Cup of Joe, does. He's put up two amazing articles at Birds on the Black that are highlighting his pitch repertoire and his tunneling, which, you know, as I'm starting to learn from Joe in particular, Leone is an amazing pitch tunneler, and all that means is that he does a good job of throwing all of his pitches from one release point that have the same trajectory that break a certain way, pretty much. That's the layman's way that I can put it. Again, STL Cup of Joe would be able to say it at least 100 times better than I ever could. But he's a really impressive kid. He has a fastball, a slider, and a cutter. And it seems like he found a good balance in 2017 with the slider and cutter. And I'm excited about him in the bullpen. Put the jersey on. Don't worry. Here, get your booze. You better have booze. This is my booze tonight. Hold on. I don't know if I can do it. Where can you get a Langford jersey like that? Off his back. That's the only place. It says, the beer tonight is the Devil's Farmhouse. Not to be confused with the Devil's Threesome. Generally, me and my buddy Dan Urker, we get involved in that. But it's a farmhouse ale or some nonsense like that, and it's part of the Schlafly Ibex series. It's aged in wine barrels, and it's perfect to celebrate this gentleman, his beautiful, amazing, soft-to-the-touch nomination to the Cardinals Hall of Fame. The voting starts on March 1st. You have to get out and vote for this guy. He was the best Cardinal of the 90s. He's a monster. He's as good as it gets. Oh, hey, a Bruxno, which I'm guessing is a fake account by Bruno, who's joining on his first day, which is never a good sign. Ooh, fancy. This is fancy. This booze is fancy. The Langford jersey is fancy. If you want to know where you can get a Langford jersey like that, we'll get to Edmundo here in a little bit, Graham. It's been a pleasure DMing with you today, buddy. It's been a pleasure. Anytime you want to talk about prospects, feel free to DM me. It's a good thing. We'll get to Sosa in a minute. The Langford jersey. That actually came off of his back in the 1993 spring training. One of my brother Jim's friends went down to spring training, and he had some connections. Oh, it's so fire. He had some connections down there, and Langford actually gave him that in 1993. Now, in 1993, I was 7 years old. So, as I got older, Langford was my favorite player. I didn't even know that this exists. Oh, Navy jersey. Look at the front of this thing. I didn't even know Langford existed at the time. Look at how sweet that thing is. It's beautiful, isn't it? It's total fire. I didn't even know Langford. I didn't know that the jersey existed. He was just my favorite player. And then I was like 14 years old, and my brother Jim's friend was like, oh, you like Ray Langford? I've got something for you. And he gave me that. And that came right off of Ray Langford's back. No one else has that. You can't find it anywhere. I thought about wearing it downtown tonight when they announced that he was going to be a part of the next committee. And, I didn't. I had to be here. Does it fit? Brother, all I do is drink and eat shit. So, no, not anymore. It's close. My cousin has a home run ball from Mr. Ray Langford. Your cousin's a good man. You're a good man, Ryan. It's pretty incredible. How about this? I'll make a deal with you. You stick around a little bit. We'll drink some of this, because this is fantastic, by the way. Dibs if it starts ripping. I'll give it to you if it starts ripping. We'll drink a little bit. I'm not wearing, spoiler warning, I'm not wearing a shirt underneath this. So we drink a little bit, we talk some prospects, we'll get to Edmundo Sosa, and then, boom, this off, this on. It's going to get weird in here. We're going to have some fun. Who am I picking? I'm picking Ray Langford twice to make sure that no one screws him out of his rightful spot in the Cardinals Hall of Fame. March 1st, get to voting. Vote every day. Vote for Ray Ray. Honestly, all of the other 6 guys are players deserving of it. I'm going to vote for Scott Rowland. That's who I'm going to vote for. It's going to be Ray Langford and Scott Rowland for me. But that's only because those are the guys that I know. I don't know Keith Hernandez like the generation before me, or Vince Koolman the generation before me. I know John Tudor had one of the best starts in Cardinal history by someone not named Bob Gibson. And I know that he was steady throughout his entire career. I'm a big Lee Smith fan. One time when I was, it must have been the 2005 Interleague Series between the Cardinals and the, that is the correct answer. Yeah, hi, not Borelli, what's going on, brother? I was fortunate enough when I was young. It must have been 2004, 2005. The Cardinals made an interleague trip to Boston and New York to play the Yankees at Old Yankee Stadium and the Red Sox in Fenway. It must have been 2004. Anyways, I was at the game when Roger Clemens struck out his 1 millionth batter and won his 1 millionth game. That was really cool. But I bring all that up because I went with a group of season ticket holders in the left field bleachers. Oh no, Matt Morse did get lit up against the Yankees. You're right. Oh God, that's a great callback. That's a good memory. Well done. Anyways, Lee Smith found out that there was a group of Cardinals season ticket holders and regulars that had made the trip for the interleague games against the Red Sox and Yankees. Got a hold of one of the regulars who he had some type of small relationship with, and ended up having lunch, took us all out to lunch. There was 20 of us, took us all out to lunch, bought the old people drinks, took us out on the town of Boston. It was one of the coolest things. So I have a soft spot in my heart for Lee Smith. I think what I'll do is I'll vote every day. I'll vote for Langford and Smith one day and Langford and Rowland the other day. You can't go wrong, really. As long as you're voting for Ray Langford for the Cardinals Hall of Fame, you cannot go wrong with one of the other 6 that you're picking. My new boy, Graham. Graham asked about the ballot. Yeah, Rowland and Langford, they should both be in already. Langford should go in before anyone. But you're right. My buddy Graham, he and I were talking via DM about Edmundo Sosa. Now, I want to make it clear that I very, very, very much respect anyone who writes about prospects. Sometimes it gets lost because I'm uber critical. I'm such a dickhead. I'm the worst kind of person. I really am. But sometimes I'm uber critical about some of the write-ups because I feel like my opinion's pretty good and I take it seriously. Now, with that in mind, Graham asked me about Edmundo Sosa, and it's Edmundo. The U sounds like 2 O's. Graham asked me about Edmundo Sosa because one of the gentlemen or lovely young ladies at Viva Alberto's wrote about him in some capacity today. I can't speak for what was written in that article. All I can say is that from my vantage point, and Graham nailed this when he and I were talking via DM, from my vantage point with Edmundo Sosa, his swing is weird. He doesn't make a lot of hard contact. He definitely has increased his bat speed because he's added a trigger mechanism, a leg kick, a big leg kick, like a big over-exaggerated Yadier Molina big leg kick. And it's helped add power and speed, but he doesn't hit the ball hard enough, and he's still kind of a small guy. He doesn't really have the size to drive the ball the way that swing is designed to drive the ball. It's Edmundo Sosa hitting for power is like Magneuris Sierra hitting for power. It's just never going to happen. Maybe one year he tops out at 5 or 10. Hold on. Again, Schlafly, the Devil's Threesome. No, the Devil's Farmhouse. It's delicious. It's really good. He's a solid fielder. In 2017, Edmundo Sosa had some fielding problems that I think are getting kind of glossed over because of how good he was in the Arizona Fall League, playing 3 different positions. Actually, right before he got promoted to Springfield, he had 1 game in Springfield before he got hit by a pitch and broke his hamate, which is in your hand. He had lost his starting shortstop job to Tommy Edman because and it wasn't just one of those things where the Cardinals wanted to get Edman some time. It was one of those things where he had lost some of his effectiveness at shortstop. So the Cardinals said, well, we got a shortstop here who's young and needs to develop. So he got time at short, Edman did. And Sosa started moving around. He wasn't very good in the season until after he came back from the hamate defensively. Now, in Arizona, it was a completely different story. His arm was strong, and he was playing great defensively at second, at short, and at third. And I believe that'll stick. I believe he has that capability. He's a really, really impressive kid. And, my write-up for him comes out on Schrock Become Key Bench Guys. Munoz or Schrock. I'm going to write him down this time. He has a chance to be like a really good utility guy who could be a potentially plus defender. But as of right now, he's nothing more than that. He doesn't have a bat that profiles anywhere. Even when he incorporated the swing, it didn't give him extra base hit power. He's in the back third of the rankings for a reason. Again, my write-up comes February 15th. There's a Juan Herrera reference. There's plenty to talk about. Max Schrock and Yairo Munoz. Max Schrock has a little bit more difficult of a journey to get to the major leagues. With Max Schrock, he is only a second baseman. They're going to be, Memphis is going to be super good again. With Schrock, he's only a second baseman. He's only ever going to play second. Now, they're going to give him time in Memphis this year. Schrock is not on the 40-man, but Yairo Munoz is on the 40-man. So keep that in mind. That's another obstacle. Make his ML debut. Ooh. Oh, man. Let me stick with Schrock and Munoz real fast. We'll get to Jag here in a second. Jag in his debut. What do you guys think at the top of my head? How does it look? Langford, boys. Boys and girls, Langford. No, Graham. Victor Garcia doesn't make the top 30. No, I'm kidding. Victor Garcia and Terry Fuller and Zach Jackson have so long to go, man. And they're so unpolished. And none of those guys had a particularly good Terry Plummer. Nick Plummer, not to be confused with Jake Plummer, who to this day, I still call Nick Plummer Jake Plummer. Did I say Terry? Oh, Terry Fuller. I meant Terry Fuller, not Terry Plummer. My bad, Ryan. My bad. Graham, I do not have Bryce Denton on my list. As a matter of fact, I didn't have him in my top 40. Dylan Carlson's in the top 20. Wadier Infante is here in a couple days. No. I probably said Terry Plummer, not Terry Fuller. I say stupid shit. You guys know that. I don't even know what the hell I'm saying most of the time. I did not have Bryce Denton in my top 40. My cohort, Colin Gardner, did. He's right outside the top 40 for me. Hicks or Helsley possibly making the opening day roster. I say no right now. They've got a lot of people. Too many spoilers. Hicks and Helsley. They have a lot of guys now that they signed to minor league deals who would be ahead of those guys. I definitely think when you say Garcia, do you mean Jose Adalis? Do you mean Jag? Let's refer to Jose Adalis Garcia as Jag from now on. It clears things up and it's a fun little nickname. Getting back to the bench question, Yairo Munoz does have a chance to be, by the mid part of the season, a contributor at the major league level if someone gets hurt. He's going to be interesting. It's worth keeping an eye on him. When does Jose Adolis Garcia, when does Jag, I've been incomplete without your periscopes. I've been even more incomplete without you. Hey, big guy. Hey, what's going on, Dan? Thanks for joining, man. This is great. It's nice to have you aboard. With Jose Adolis Garcia, when does he make his debut? So let's look at it this way. You have to figure Tyler O'Neill, Oscar Mercado, because Oscar Mercado and Harrison Bader all have a chance to play the majors before him because he's on all three of those guys are on the 40-man. That's an obstacle for Jag. Now, if he starts mashing and they're in one of those little transitions, there you go. I was getting that. If they're in one of those transitions where they could rotate, then I could see him. He's mashing. O'Neill didn't do very much. Bader didn't do very much. Mercado is what he was before 2017. I could see them saying, all right, let's give Jose Adolis Garcia a chance. But remember, they're going to need a 40-man spot for that to happen. And I think they have one 40-man spot open now. I don't know for sure. Yeah, there's a ton of really interesting guys. You talk about who's going to fill the bullpen. In my opinion, if you don't include Ryan Sheriff, and I feel like it's safe to say that the Cardinals will go with 13 bullpen arms and 12 bench bats. That's the reality of the situation. That means that for the last bullpen spot, you're talking about Ryan Sheriff, Preston Gilmet, whose name I'm butchering. Welcome to the organization. Edward Mujica is going to get a shot at that last spot. Nestor Molina is going to get a shot at that spot. And I would think that all of those guys get a shot at that spot before Jordan Hicks does, before Ryan Helsley does. I do think Ryan Helsley has the potential to force the issue. I don't think Hicks is there yet. Any major pitching help you see the Cardinals getting before the season? What else happens to Daniel Bard? Oh, Daniel Bard, he gone. Daniel Bard gone. I actually got Daniel Bard mixed up with some other guy, Josh Bard, the other day, which was terrible when I was jumped on Ken Rosenthal, which was incredible. Just so bad. What might they add? I do think it's really interesting, and I firmly believe that the longer Greg Holland goes without signing with a team, the more likely he is to be a Cardinal. I think the Cardinals have offered him a 2 or a 3-year deal. I don't believe they're going to sway, and I think that there's a very, very, very good chance that something like that happens. That's what I think. Safe to see the Cardinals committing to keeping Carson Kelly since they didn't trade him yet. I think, oh man, I would love a Roydis Vizcaíno. I agree with you, Graham. I think that they're content with Kelly. I know they love Carson Kelly. I think that if Carson Kelly was going to get traded, it'll be in a trade for a guy with multiple years of control like Chris Archer. But they're not going to be, they're not ever going to trade him for anything more than that. Kelly trying a corner infield spot, that's not going to happen. At least not yet. It's going to be one of those things we're hearing a little bit. Here in just a little bit, he'll get some time at first. But right now, they're convinced that his only spot is as a catcher. And, like for me, it wouldn't hurt to get him some time. Oh, Ryan, you're coming after me with the Hosmer. I thought you were starting to come over to our side, buddy. It seemed like the last couple days you had been like, this'll work. No more Hosmer. I hope I'm right about Greg Holland, too. There's still a lot of other options out there. Hey, Jag at third base today on his Instagram. That was fun to watch, man. He was having so much fun. So Jag took to Instagram. He made a terrible read on a ground ball to third base. He was just joking around in the back, taking some ground balls. It was fun to watch, though. How likely is Donaldson traded at the trade deadline? Sorry. Oh, no, you're fine, man. Ask away forever cards. You're one of my favorites. Hosmer wants more than 7 years. What a nightmare that would be. Oh, man. I think it's a very good chance that Donaldson's traded by the deadline. Just look at what the Blue Jays have done. They've added Cardinal recycle parts. That doesn't bode well, right? Am I wrong about that? That doesn't bode well at all. It's not good at all. So I don't think that they've gotten much better, and they weren't particularly great last year. So, my guess is definitely that come the trade deadline, Josh Donaldson, hold on. Again, my drink of choice is this Devil's Farmhouse stuff. Schlafly Ibex. It's fantastic. Let's all root for the Blues Jays. Yeah! Let's go. AL East. Arabella's still on market. Blue Jays aren't selling, and I can't really be mad at them. They're not selling yet. They shouldn't. They don't have a reason to. And that's a high demand market, too. Don't forget about that. St. Louis is a medium demand market, but the Toronto faithful are crazy. We saw that the day in that game with the bat flip, the famous Jose Bautista bat flip. That is a rabid fan base. Trading off in the middle part in the preseason, in the off season, is not going to work for that organization. So they're going to lose a couple games, and I think that there's a very good chance that Josh Donaldson ends up being swooped by a team. What else do we have? Oh, yeah, getting back to will Tommy Pham. Orioles both suck. Yeah, no, and there's a very good chance, right, that both of those teams could suck. It's only a matter of time. It would be really nice if Tommy Pham plays 150. I'm going to go ahead and write him down for it. I've got all the faith in that guy. I know some people are not as hot on Tommy Pham. I love Tommy Pham. That AL East is going to be tough. The Yankees are so good. They still have a pitching concern or two. I'd like, if I'm that fan base, I'm asking them to address. We know that the Red Sox are probably pretty close to signing JD Martinez. It seems like everyone knows that that's going to happen, and it almost makes me wonder if it's not going to happen just for that reason. But he is, it would definitely make it really interesting if, meant to say crazy how Cobb, Lynn, Holland, Arrieta, Darvish, JD, and Hosmer are still in the market. Angels and Sox need to be uber good by deadline, so Jays don't go for the wild card. Astute observation there. Yeah, the free agent class is still incredible. And, even if you want to dig down a little bit deeper, I think that's my pick too. I definitely think JD goes back to the D-backs. I was telling Mo's algorithm that the other day. We found our closer from 2012, Edward Mujica, getting the ball handed to him from Nestor Molina. It's not great right now, guys. It's not great. New guy from Mexico, just saw he's not young. New guy from Mexico. Oh, Nestor Molina, the pitcher. Don't get too excited about him yet. Also, another guy who plays from the Mexican League, Ramon Urias. He's 23. He tore up the Mexican League. Let's not invest too much into that right now. Let's let them get stateside, and let's let them get used to a major league competition. Remember, there was a time when Aledmys Diaz was thought of as a double-A player, and he tore apart the Cubano League Nacional, or whatever it is. I apologize. I wish I knew that. I just butchered it. But he tore that league apart, and he was barely thriving at AA before he worked his way up in the organization. What about that's Ramon Urias. Again, keep in mind that those first couple of years he wasn't exactly good. He plays short there, but he's not good enough to stay at short. He might be Greg Garcia with more upside. Kyle, would you have stopped drinking for a month if it meant Robert would have been a Cardinal? I'd give up drinking the entire year if it meant Luis Robbie Robinson was a Cardinal. I would give up a testicle. I would sell one of these things in a heartbeat if it meant that Luis Robert was a Cardinal. Don't remind me of Luis Robert. See? Yeah. And don't remind me that I've got two testicles still. I would gladly give one of these things up. I think this is the part where, for credit from Luis Bob. Oh my God, that would have worked so well. Jose Ortiz would have been so pissed if we would have started calling him Luis Bob. Can you imagine that? There'd be articles in the paper. Better career, Robert. Or Langford. Well, one of them has a career, so I'll hedge on this monster of a man and say that it's him. But if I'm playing with my emotional heartstrings, I don't even know. Aren't my testicles in high demand? Do I look like I have testicles that are in high demand? I don't have much that's in high demand. I have this Langford jersey that's in high demand and this bottle of booze. And everything beyond that is south, my friends. Everything out there is not worth it. Everything out there is just a dust in the wind, dust in the sack, balls in the sack. Oh, well, the Cardinals jump on the slow market. I think the longer that it takes, they'll get Greg Holland. Thoughts on Wainwright and these struggles? Goes to the bullpen, early retirement. I think what will happen is come May, when Wainwright isn't pitching very well, you'll see a DL stint, bone spurs probably in his elbow, and then whatever happens after that happens. And hopefully by then Alex Reyes is ready to step in and join the party, because he should be a starting pitcher. 2 questions. Will the Cardinals do something? Should the Cards do something? The Cardinals will do one more thing, and they still need to address the bullpen. And I don't mean minor league contracts. Just keep pants on if it goes on. I'll take my pants off when I want to take my pants off, okay? This is my house. I take the shirt off. I take my pants off. What about your wide selection of porn DVDs? That's always in demand. Oh, no. Look, these are just shells. I've got all this information on my laptop here. We've got just the craziest stuff you can imagine. All legal. I want to make that as clear as possible, FBI. All of it's legal. Taguchi's better than Langford. You know what? How come So Taguchi isn't in the Cardinals Cardinals Hall of Fame? Let's start that. I'm very excited about Alex Reyes this year. So am I. I can't wait to see him. I hope he gets a chance to start. The disrespect. That's so disrespectful. 99. Easton Leonard's better than Gould. Easton Leonard is reporting that Easton Leonard is better than Gould. Don't sell yourself short. You have self-deprecation. Hilarious. At this point, it's just ball sack talk and weird shaped head talk. I don't have anything else for you guys. I do think the Cardinals make one more move. I don't know if it'll be Holland. I think that the longer it goes on, the better chance that it's Holland. Graham was on it. Graham _STL on Twitter. He's on it. I'd love for them to bring in Ubaldo Jimenez. I did not see John Tudor. I'm 31 years old, and I would kill to have seen him. He sounds amazing. The other reliever signing lately have been pretty cheap, in my opinion. I agree. That's been a big point of contention for me. Real talk, the Cardinals need to bring back the blue road hats. Fuck yes. Fuck yes, fuck yes, fuck yes. Bring back those road blues. Put the road red away. Those hats are ridiculous. Oh, man. Hold on. Ryan Schull, I'm not the world's biggest Jake Arrieta fan. I would like for them to I would like for them to hold off on getting him. Why do the Cardinals not see Colome as a closer? They do. They're just playing coy. I guarantee that. 13 days till pitchers and catchers. 13 days until pitchers and catchers. I'll throw it up there one more time. It is a huge beer. Do I poop and shit? I have the runs all the time. So I don't know if you call that poop or shit. I call it a magical elixir of anus juice. Let's see. Devil's Farmhouse. Not to be confused with the Devil's Threesome. And the Devil's Farmhouse is aged ale in red wine barrels with black currants and cherries. It's pretty fucking great. Gregerson is going to be good and people are dumb. I think Gregerson's going to be good, but I don't want him closing. Would you rather see Robert as a Cardinal or Mike Shildt as our manager? I would like for Luis Bob to be a Cardinal more than Mike Shildt as a manager, because my concern is that on a hot summer day, Mike Shildt is going to melt. The epitome of human candle wax, I worry about his health. PSA, 80 days until Dexter Fowler's bobblehead. The most accurate bobblehead in the history of bobbleheads. That thing is awesome. I can't wait to get one. People are dumb. Has nothing to do with Gregerson. If there's one thing I want you to leave our little chat with tonight, is that people are dumb and it has nothing to do with Gregerson. Cecil comeback card of the year. I think Brett Cecil will have a really solid season. You can't get by. In the end, Randy Rosarena will end up as the closer. Yeah, man, why not? He's got a strong arm. I've seen that arm from the outfield, and it's pretty strong. It's not Jose Adalis Garcia strong. That'd be interesting. One inning of Jose Adalis Garcia, add him as the 26th man in a doubleheader, and just see what happens. Yeah, why not? Odds that Wainwright returns to 2010 through 2012 form, less than 30%. You know, in my mind, I think we're looking at more of a Jeff Weaver or a Jared Weaver kind of thing with him than anything. I am going to miss Zach Gallen. He's a hell of a prospect. They made the right move trading him in that deal, but he's a hell of a prospect. He's going to be pitching for the Marlins this year. Do we expect Young to decline? No. I think you're looking at a very similar year to what he had last year. 2018 does Wong have? You know, it's going to be better than it was last year. I don't know how much better. I think he could end up being an all-star mid-season, but it's going to be a good season. And that's coming from someone who hasn't always been a Colton Wong believer. He's done a lot to turn me around, my perception of him around in the last couple of years. So it's going to be a good year. These periscopes are like a baseball version of, I don't know what that is. I don't know. I mean, I'll look it up right now. What do you think of an Alex Kabbash signing for 3 years? Stay away from Cobb. Stay away from Lynn. If you're going to, who will be better in the long run, Connor Green or Sandy Alcantara? Connor Green. If you're going to sign anyone, you stay away from those mid-range pitchers. You don't need any more, or the Cardinals rather. The Cardinals don't need any more mid-range pitchers. If they're going to spend, they should spend for a top-of-the-line pitcher like Yu Jarvis or Jake Arrieta. Both of those guys I'm not in. Because they have so many young pitchers in the minor league levels at the high levels that, ask me I do think Ponce de Leon. But the Cardinals have so many pitchers with high upsides at the high levels of the minor leagues that it doesn't make sense to sign a Cobb, a Lynn, any of those guys for 3 years. Those guys might be just as good, if not better. I think, getting back to a couple questions, I think Connor Green is better than Sandy Alcantara. I think Daniel Ponce de Leon has a great chance of being one of the guys who makes it out of the spring training with the bullpen spot. The Cardinals have a lot of interesting arms. I'll tell you what, of all the guys who have a chance to make that last spot in the bullpen, Ryan Sheriff's spot currently, if they're going with a 13-man bullpen, Daniel Ponce de Leon's the one we should all be rooting for. We should all be rooting for, we should all be excited about, we should all be just on. Thoughts on Grichuk's comments? They don't mean anything to me. He's trying to sell himself to a new fan base. What else do you expect a player to say? Yeah, I sucked. I can't hit a slider. Maybe something good happens here. He said exactly what every young player would say if they didn't feel comfortable with the playing time they were getting. And I don't think it's scandalous. He's fine with that. If they sign Holland, they could have a AAA bullpen in Memphis. Or a 4A, but yeah, you're right. How many major league starts? I love this. Grichuk is fine, for sure. How many major league starts Flaherty getting this season? There is a team in the National League called the Los Angeles Dodgers. And all season last year, the Los Angeles Dodgers were DLing their pitchers in the starting rotation. And basically running with an extended 6-7-man rotation at sometimes. And using the DL, the new 10-day DL, to their benefit. That's what the Cardinals should do this year. They should do it with Jack Flaherty and Alex Reyes and put guys on the DL and run them out. Because it's a great thing to do and it's a great system to have. No innings limit with Cobb or Lynn. I don't think we have enough innings covered right now. Of the 5 guys that are ticketed to start, you might be right. But I believe that they have guys in Jack Flaherty and Dakota Hudson and Ryan Helsley and Daniel Ponce de Leon who could pick up those innings along with Alex Reyes if things get weird. Bring on that Dean Keffer. Try to say that without sounding like a racist. Do you guys feel personally victimized by John Brebbia? I feel personally victimized. That beard was beautiful, man. As an ugly white dude with a glorious beard, keep your beard, bro. Keep your beard. Bring Ed Easley back. Sure. Bring back every catcher that's ever been a backup catcher for Yadier Molina. One of them's managing the Cardinals. Us ugly white dudes thrive on beards. That's all we have. That's all we have to go to. Stephen Bean. Oh my God. Steve Bean. Yikes. Where are you selling forehead headspace? Look, so these are premium Cody Stanley and John Gant. So here, these are the discount headspaces. If you want to buy this section here and advertise, you can. That's like, I don't know. You get me a bottle of beer, we're good. Bottle of bourbon. Now here, since this is so big, that's like a couple $100 to advertise here. The back of my head's even bigger. It's going to cost even more than that. Je suis français. Oh, God, I love the French. Let's see. Oh, my thoughts on John Gant. I think he could be an intriguing option, but to expect anything more than average is irresponsible. I used to speak French. I don't anymore. 4 years in high school. What a waste. God, what a terrible curriculum I had. Interesting guy. What do you think is more iconic, your forehead or Brendan's hair? Ooh. Well, Brendan did that stupid Harrison Bader, Greg Garcia of the outfield at best. John Gant's trying to be Kid Rock. John Gant's trying to be Kid Rock. And I do love John Gant's funky delivery. Me too, man. It's fun to watch. It's amazing to me that he can do that out of the windup and then be fine out of the stretch. Brendan Schaefer, his hair is more iconic than mine. I love Jack Flaherty. Schaefer's more iconic than mine, but when he shaved that thing down to a mohawk, I win. I've got the best, worst head in America. We will act snooty towards Americans from now on. Yeah, that's fine. We don't care. We don't even know. We're oblivious to anything that's going on, so I wouldn't worry about it. Molina set to retire same year Matheny's contract is up. That could be interesting. We'll see if he actually retires. I don't buy that he's going to retire. Am I mistaken, but didn't Gant ditch the double leg kick at the end of the year? You know what? I don't think he did. Now, again, keep in mind with Gant, when he pitches out of the stretch, which he was doing, late in the year a lot, that double leg kick doesn't show up. It's only when he pitches out of the windup. So I can't say for sure. I wish I could. But let me do a little groundwork, and I'll let you know in the very near future. The one thing about those old guys like John Gant in the minors, you kind of give up on them. I shouldn't, though. I think Yachty's going to catch until he's 72. How many people are fighting for the last bullpen? 7. Off the top of my head, I would say 7 are fighting for the last one. Are the Blue Jays dumb for not trading Donaldson? Gant gave up 2 home runs to Scooter with the best player. I would say, we talked about it a little while ago, and I'll get to Hudson's ceiling here in a second. Let me do some of this real fast. Write it down. They're not dumb for not trading Donaldson because that's a fan base that demands winning. And baseball's about making money, and those people wouldn't have shown up. They can get behind Josh Donaldson. And plus, his price isn't going to drop that much between now and June when he is eventually traded. So I think they're smart for holding on to him. Have you looked at any MLB Writers' top 30 prospects list now that yours is complete? I have not. Oh, man. I try my hardest. We'll get to that in a second. Bullpen, how long do you think all the young guys get pulled in? How long did it take old guys last before? I don't know what I was saying. So Dakota Hudson's ceiling. So I'm actually stuck on that one. A lot of people are kind of trashing him, myself included, for his low walk rate. He struggled against lefties greatly last year. But that's to be expected for a guy who had questions after being drafted, who started the year at AA and ended at AAA. That's going to course correct this year. The strikeouts are going to go up, and those numbers against lefties are going to go down. His slider's too good to be pitching it the way that he's been pitching it. He's too talented. A good ceiling for a player comp for Dakota Hudson, Michael Wacha. It's an easy one. It's a cheap one. I would say something like that. Keep in mind that we're seeing an injured version of Michael Wacha dealing with body, shoulder issues. Somewhere in between what he was doing before he got hurt and what he is now, that is Dakota Hudson's ultimate ceiling. Now, I always caution when I talk about ultimate ceilings. I'll get to a non-Cardinals comparison here in a second. I always caution when I talk about ultimate ceilings that's fun. That's a great conversation to have, but it's pointless. Let's talk about what he's most like right now. And if I'm guessing, someone like Jesse Hahn, I think he compares really well to Jesse Hahn or any of the myriad of pitchers that the Oakland A's have had in the last couple years, whose names are escaping me. I'm so stupid. So yeah, that's what I think. And they did. They just traded. That was an interesting move for both teams, I think. Drink milk. I'll go get milk. I've got milk, bro. What prospect do you think is most likely to fly up rankings during the 2018 season? I think... okay, so once we get done with the top 30 prospects, I'm actually going to write an article about that. For me, there are 2 prospects, one hitter and one pitcher, that are in our top 30, in the back third of our top 30 that I think skyrocket up the rankings. Sam Teves, spelled T-E-W-E-S. Have you seen Alien Arrival? I don't know what Alien Arrival is. If somebody get a hold of my brother Michael and tell him I don't know what Alien Arrival is. Sam Teves is the most likely pitcher in the back third of the top 30 to move up the rankings. And from a hitting perspective, Wadie Infante, whose name I will get right one of these days, has the best, of all the hitters, has the best chance of moving up. Hey, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you reading the article. That's awesome. Thank you. Manea, Dallas Braden, there's another guy who came up about the same time that Jesse Hahn did, and I can't remember his name. Wait, is there really a lesbian in here? Wait, go back to the lesbian. Yeah, sorry, I get distracted. I need more of that. Yeah, well, again, Ryan, thank you for reading, and I'm really, really proud of the content that I'm involved in with Birds on the Black. All of those guys are incredible. what STL Cup of Joe is doing with Dominic Leone and breaking down him stuff. Tell me more, lesbian. What he's doing breaking down those pitches is really interesting. Does Tyler O'Neill break the bigs this year? Absolutely. You'll see him by June. And it's a bummer. I wanted him to wait all year in June. Hey, look, don't pile on Miss Birdo, even if it's a fake account or anything like that. Get Kyle Reese verified. Oh, God. I don't think my real job would be too happy about that. But if you want to, go ahead. Let's do it. Is Tavis who you were talking about? Yeah, Tavis is one of those guys who will move up, I think. Him and Wadier Infante. They don't verify anymore. Oh, really? No kidding. I had no idea. More home runs by O'Neill or starts by Waino. Man, how much for the Langford jersey? It would cost, it'd be $1 million. You would have to pay me $1 million for that. Again, the backstory is that actually came off of his back in spring training, and now I have it, which is incredible. About Stefan Trosclair. No, Sam Tavis is a right-handed pitcher. You'll be learning about him in a very, very few days. 8 days or so, you'll be learning about Sam Tavis. Stefan Trosclair is the first baseman who's a little bit older, but is kind of a masher and did some really interesting things. I'm a fan of his size and athleticism. I think he's really interesting. Where's the Gilkey jersey? My brother Mike has the Gilkey jersey. I have 3 brothers. I'm one of 4. I have a Langford. Mike has a Gilkey. Scott has a Jordan, and my brother Jim has a Gant. Those are all lies, but that one's for real. Can you imagine? Oh my God, I'm shopping right now. I'm gonna get them jerseys. How great of a thing is that? You're a fan of size, you say? Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm a fan of the small size that resides in my pants. Current Cards bullpen situation? Question mark. It's a question mark. More home runs for O'Neill or starts from Waino. I'll say more starts from Waino because the Cardinals will give him every opportunity to pitch all that he wants. He's going to be terrible, and that's not fair. There's a really good chance he's going to be bad, and he's going to get every chance to pitch out of being bad. So, he'll get 20 starts, and Tyler O'Neill won't get the at-bats to hit 20. Think about that. There's a really good chance Adam Wainwright's going to have 20 starts for the Cardinals this year. That's a concern. I mean, there's a chance he's going to have 32 or 34, and that'd be fantastic because that probably means that he's going to be pretty good. But I can't say for sure. But if I have to pick one of the two, it does suck. It sucks so bad. If I had to pick one of the two, I'm going to say Waino starts. It might look a lot like BP. The other thing, just a little warning as we get into the season. More starts, Waino or Waka. Maybe Waino can pull Sabathia. Maybe. So the way I look at it, and that's a great comparison with Sabathia, Barilli. O'Neill is going to hammer ML pitching once Fowler hits DL. But remember, there's a good chance it'll be Bader before O'Neill. But you're right. I hope it happens. It'll be Waka, more starts than Waino. Somebody just asked me a great question. Barilli, what was your question? I'm sorry, brother. I'm not at the draft prospect stage yet. I'm ankle deep, knee deep into the top 30 prospects over at Birds on the Black. I haven't had time to dive into the draft prospects. I apologize. Hopefully Seth Beer has a bad enough year that he falls like Delvin Perez did. That's all I can tell you right now. And I know Seth Beer had a bad year last year, but that's just what I'm hoping. Barilli, put your damn question back up, man. I need it. Hopefully Waino. Thank you, man. Thank you. Waino and Sabathia. The way I look at it is Kramer Robertson Cosma 2.0. The way I look at it with Sabathia and Wainwright is his season's going to go one of two ways. It's either going to go the Sabathia way, where he overperforms and earns himself another year contract, or it's going to go in the Jared Weaver way, where for Jared Weaver's last 2 seasons, he was miserable. And I'm the kind of person to prepare for the worst, so I would anticipate it's going to be more Jared Weaver than it is CC Sabathia. But I like that you brought that up. That's smart thinking. He's got to learn how to pitch with less stuff like Sabathia. Absolutely. The last Mac I saw had Seth Beer going, after the Cardinals pick, that's not going to happen. You can give up on that. Is Kisner giving them a chance to trade Kelly, or are they not related? He gives them a chance to trade Kelly, but the Cardinals don't think of it as like catcher depth. They'll say that in an interview, but they put value on their assets. And they both have a high value within the organization. That I know for a fact. I was fortunate enough to just learn that the other day, as a matter of fact. Pretty cool stuff. But they view those guys, and they view them as like separate entities. Now, they can, and they know that they can trade Carson Kelly because of Kisner. Exactly. They're both exciting. They're both legitimate prospects, too. Don't forget about that. You can keep both because Andrew Kisner is athletic enough to play first if they need to move him to first. And they know that. Carson Kelly's, that entire situation, I'm not going to be able to tell you anything differently than anything else that anyone else is going to tell you. I wish I could. You all know it. He needs to start. He's not going to. It's going to be weird for a couple years. He should probably be traded. But does he have a good enough bat? He doesn't have a power bat for first, but he has a good enough approach to hold his own, similar to like James Loney at first. Cardinals have a pretty sweet system to root for. They've got a lot of really interesting and exciting guys. Is Woodford going to be in Springfield this year? Absolutely. Him and Junior Fernandez will be anchoring that rotation. Get excited about that. I think there's a good chance Jordan Hicks is there. I want to make it clear that I would personally start Jordan Hicks at Palm Beach. But they'll probably start him at Springfield just like they did with Sandy Alcantara last year and not learn from that poor lesson. How much more of this we got left? About half a bottle. So we have a half a bottle worth of nonsense to talk about. Oh man, somebody has to. So the bullpen is a mess. It's a total mess. But it's getting better. Dominic Leone was a great step in the right direction. Where does Carlson finish? In Springfield. Terry Fuller will be in Johnson City this year, and he'll stay in Johnson City. He's got a lot of work to do. He had a really bad season after he was drafted. All you have to do is open another one. Actually, the step one would be ordering some delivered to my place because this is all I have. Welcome, Diamond Supply. It's our first day on Periscope. Hey, Diamond Supply, what's going on, foo? Welcome to the party. Hold on, check this out. Check this out, yo. Is Helsley starting the season at AA? He finished the year at AAA, so I can't imagine him starting the year at AA. I would think that he and Gomber are both in the AAA rotation. What about Zach Jackson, what's his potential? I'm not a big Zach Jackson guy. Again, if there's one thing someone like Walker Robbins has taught us, those kids are so far away and they're so raw, and part of the reason they're drafted where they're drafted is that they can do other things other than what they're being drafted for. So, hold on Zach Jackson. He has potential, but he's not a catcher. Will Peoria have a strong team this year? I think Peoria has a pretty strong team this year. I think they're going to have a pretty solid rotation. I think Johan Oviedo and I think Alvaro Sejeas are there. I think Sam Tavis might be there a little bit, although he finished in Palm Beach, so smart money is that Tavis is there. Dakota Hudson, we just talked about that a little bit. Now, as far as hitters at Peoria, I don't know what that's going to look like. That's going to be a little weird. They've got a kid named Brandon Benson who they took out of a junior college last year. He's kind of interesting. I would expect Kramer Robertson won't be back there at Peoria. Tavis was the injured guy, right? Yeah, so Sam Tavis, they drafted in the 8th round of the 2016 draft out of Wichita State. He's a big boy, and he missed nearly all of 2015 and nearly all of 2016 because of Tommy John surgery. And he came back and he looked great. Again, here in a couple days, about a week and a half, you'll be able to read about him over at Birds on the Black. He's one of our top 30 prospects. How much money would you pay for Kramer Robertson's hair? None. I love my weird bald head, man. I wouldn't have it any other way. Where does Perez start the year? Perez starts probably back in Johnson City. Good to hear he's on the radar. Yeah, for sure. How did Scott Hurst do in State College? He hit 280. He had 3 home runs. I think he had 21 RBIs. He had a very respectable half season at State College. He'll be at Peoria for sure. As a matter of fact, that Peoria outfield is going to be interesting. You'll probably have Chase Pinder and Wadier Infante and Scott Hurst. Where does Perez end the year? Gifts, you're a big fan of that Perez, aren't you? You're interested in him. I like that. I'll make sure to give you extra updates, brother. He'll end the year in Peoria. Yeah, he's sexy. Brother likes to take pictures of himself. What does a AAA rotation look like? He won't be at AA. They won't push him that far. He's not nearly. Edmundo Sosa wasn't ready for AA. He might not be ready for AA now. Delvin Perez won't be. Does Machado stay good this year? This will be Oscar Mercado. No, I don't think he does. Sexy and he knows it. He's super sexy and he super knows it. It won't be like last year. He'll be able to hit home runs a little bit. He'll probably match his power total, but everything else will go down. He had a kind of a weird Arizona Fall League because he was working on his He was working on his plate discipline and pitch recognition, but he was so bad after he came back from the shoulder injury at Double-A, and that's concerning for me. Where does Bryce Harper, Freudian slip, Denton ends the season in Palm Beach. Does Kramer Robertson stick at shortstop? Saw him at Peoria last year and didn't look like he does not. Kramer Robertson does not have. He will not stay at shortstop. He obviously won't go to third. He's a second baseman. Might be a fun little utility guy. Not as good or will never be. Hey, CG, your reply to Len Gosh from this one was 10-10. Oh, yeah, no shit. Cardinals Gifts nailed that thing. Got any 30-plus home run potential in the minors minus O'Neill? The first guess is Jose Adalis Garcia, but other than that, maybe in like 5 years you're talking about Terry Fuller and Victor Garcia for my boy. Hola amigos. But other than that, no. Over under 1 home run given up by Weaver to Cesar Hernandez. I'll say over. I don't even think Cesar Hernandez is in the league anymore, but he's going to track him down in BP and just rail on him. Oh God, poor Cesar. Can you talk about Rowan Wick? No, I can't talk about Rowan Wick. I'm sorry. I'm not going to. Now, Rowan Wick was a former masher. He's from Canada. Also, 2 Canadians at AAA, O'Neill and Wick, and also Stubby Clapp. There's something to that. Who is your number 2 in the rotation? Who's my number 2? Luke Weaver. And then Miles Mikolas, and then Waka, and then Waino. God, I lose my train of thought so quick. Rowan Wick. He still has secondary work to develop. His secondary pitches are subpar. His fastball dropped in velocity. Why won't they just release him? Because they're concerned that they're going to lose a potential power arm, a guy who's been able to dial it up to the 90s. And they haven't realized that doesn't carry the same weight that it used to carry. It doesn't. It's not like 2011 or 2012. It just doesn't have the same thing. Is everybody ready for the Justin Bohr, Sierra Brinson show? What a shit show that's going to be, Ryan. Terrible, man. They have Sierra leading off right now. I wouldn't have him leading off. He'd be at the back. Does Reyes end in the rotation? I hope so. Everybody keeps talking about Reyes' workload. The concern about his workload as a starter. If you put Alex Reyes in the bullpen, do you really think that he's not going to pitch 3 straight nights, 3 times every 2 months, 4 times every 2 months? That's worse for his arm than pitching 150 innings next year. Book that. Over under 1 home run for Sierra. God, that's big parks out in the East. He'll hit 2 both against Atlanta. A dude on a worthless team under. What do you think of Connor Green? Here's my thought about Connor Green. I talked about it in the Prospect Macarena Q&A that we did. The thing about Connor Green is his breaking stuff's pretty good. And he throws his fastball too much and he overthrows it. So what I would like to see him do this year, is I'd like for him to be removed from the rotation, moved into the bullpen full time, and just throw his off-speed pitches about 50 to 60% of the time and get used to just working with the fastball, making that a secondary pitch. That's what I want to see. Who's going to be a star at Double-A this season? Max could be inside the... Yeah, in Miami, Magneuris Sierra could definitely be an inside the Parker. Who's going to be the star at Double-A this year? I'll say Junior Fernandez has the breakout season at Double-A. Yeah, that's right. Green is the new guy for Randall Grichuk. Who might some of the hitters be? I think Andy Young and Stefan Trosclair if they're given the opportunity, but they've got a logjam of infielders there. I think Andy Young could also be a breakout prospect. Sebastian Kashishi. Welcome to Periscope. It's nice to... hey, thank you very much. I live in St. Louis City. If you'd like to come stroke it, you're more than welcome to. Is Green a starter or has he moved to the pen? They're going to keep him in the rotation as long as they can. But to me, I would love for him to start in the bullpen. Just get used to what it's like to pitch out of the bullpen. Because then you have a viable, potentially viable, serious option out of the pen, which would be fantastic. Can you use British accent? We'll find out. I'll try to integrate it seamlessly, like Gifts and I tried to do on YouTube Live a little while ago. It'll be about that bad. Yeah, I think Corey Luttrell's a big long shot. He might have a Ryan Sheriff type season where he kind of busts out, but you're right. The suspension really, really hurt him. And when he came back from that suspension, he wasn't very good either. I thought Young was kind of the way out of go, blah, blah, blah. What level is Green going to start at? I believe he'll start at AA. I think they've got enough pitching at the AAA level that he'll start at AA. Like I said, they're going to start him as a starter, so he'll be a starter at the beginning. Start him as a starter. He'll be a starter at the beginning. I'm such an asshole, you guys. Will we see Josh Lucas again? Plenty in spring, I would think. But I would imagine that, he still has a 40-man spot. Keep that in mind. So I would imagine he'd be one of the first options if they needed a bullpen arm in a pinch during season, early in the season. Does anyone else have any more questions? What else do you want to talk about? Somebody put something else. Was Green a throw-in to replace... I will say that I think, will we see career ERA? Yes, we will see Mike Mayers again. I think there's a chance that he's the guy who takes Sheriff's spot as the 13th man in the... Oh, God, John Kilichowski. I love Kilichowski. I think there's a chance Mayers has a chance to break with the big team. Who gets the Kyle's Minor League Award for spring training? I don't know, Gifts. That's a tough one, man. That's a tough one. Well, I'll say that Randy Arozarena and Andrew Kisner. How much will we see Voit? So that's the other fun thing with this fourth outfielder stuff. Shoot your shot. The other thing about the fourth outfield stuff that's really interesting, right, is in the three starters, they have three guys who can play center field. And we know Luke Voit is taking reps in the outfield, and we know that Jose Martinez is an outfielder as well. So it's realistic to think that Harrison Bader might not even break with the big club. Tyler O'Neill might not break with the big club. Yeah, it's a terrible experiment, but they're going to do it anyways. At least they didn't wait till March 18th to do it. At least Luke Voigt's been doing it since the beginning of the offseason. I think it'll be a lot like the end of Holiday's career. I think that's a great analogy. Ooh, Schrock equals DJ LeMahieu. Somebody's been reading my write-up on Max Schrock without my consent. So there's a chance that they could just roll with their three starters and then do something really cute with Voit and Jose Martinez, and Voit can start the year with a big club. I think it might be a little bit better than Adams, but I don't think it's unfair to say that it'll be just like Adams. Hold on. Is everyone... Who has booze? Get your damn booze. So, Graham, let me tell you what I mean. So, as I've been doing these... let's drink. Don't be super excited, but be excited about Jose Martinez. Yeah, he had such a great year last year, and he's fun to watch, and he's exciting, and he's electric, and he does too much shit in the box, but who cares? Graham, let me tell you what I mean by the DJ LeMahieu thing. So as I'm doing the top 30 prospects at Birds on the Black, as I'm ranking these guys, as I'm counting them down, he's super fun, man. What I'm doing is I'm giving you what I think their future is in a poor professional comparison, and then I'm telling you what their absolute ceiling is. So I'm going to cheat. I'm going to give you a little hint. Now, Max Schrock is still 3 weeks away from my write-up on Max Schrock. Max Schrock is a top 20 prospect. In my mind, Max Schrock's ultimate ceiling is someone like DJ LeMahieu. I personally think, and I say it every time anyone asks me, that Max Schrock is Aaron Miles. I don't know. It's the perfect comparison, the perfect player comp. But if you're talking about what he's capable of achieving, if he maxes out all his skills, someone like DJ LeMahieu. Oh, shit. Somebody retweet this. Next person retweets this gets a spring training lock screen. Gift does it better than anyone, man. I want it. Can I retweet? Do you think they did really well in the Piscotty trade? I think they did great on the Piscotty trade, and he does. He has a plus fastball, just like Aaron Miles. Lance Dance. Oh, Adam retweeted it. Good. Adam gets a badass lock screen. I love that Lance Dance. I would say that Max Schrock's fastball on a 20 to 80 scale is like a 35. Hope Max doesn't pitch as much as Miles. I hope he does. Fuck, why not? Who cares? We weren't getting AJ Puck for Piscotty. I saw people saying that they thought we should have got Logan Shore for Stephen Piscotty. I think people seriously overvalue players that they love. And I don't think anything's wrong with that. Look, part of being a fan is falling in love with players. So there's nothing wrong with that. But sometimes you have to be realistic. Oh God, can you imagine? Can you imagine trying to get excited about your team with Stephen Piscotty and Brandon Moss as potential starters? We're probably most desperate. Oh, they were not fun at all in 2016. They weren't fun in 2017 either. We're only 20 in game against the Mets. I was too young for that. I don't remember that. Yariel Gonzalez, does he have a future? Yariel does have a future. He's got a lot of steps to make. He's an interesting guy. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know much about him. I know a little bit, but he's not one of the guys that I highlight. He's not one of the guys I spend a lot of time with. There's so many other guys. DJ Jones, sports is lame if you don't have it. Exactly. I agree. Remember when Moss could have gotten like 80 mil? Can you imagine that? Can you imagine? I think that 2013 team was fun. I think those years with Carlos Beltran were fun. Pete Cosmo wasn't fun. That was miserable. But, those teams were fun. And they had prospects coming up that helped make it fun. At least last year, Pham, Dex, and Wong bought some electricity. Yeah, without a doubt. And you're going to see a lot more of that this year. I didn't miss that one. Carp leads off or bats third. Please say leads off. I don't care. I am completely surprised you know him. I went to the SC roster and picked a random name. So Yariel is a first baseman. He's kind of interesting. I believe, and this is where I think the thing with Yariel is I think that he was a little old for that league. And I think I have a tendency to write off guys who are a little old for that league. So that's where I have problems in regards to my own personal evaluation. Oh, Kyle Short. I'm just going to like your tweet. Welcome to, I'm from Russia. Todd. I've done the same. Oh, I missed it. I missed something cool happen. What else? What else do we want to talk about? We're at an hour. I'm almost done with beer. I guess this is what the bartenders call a last call. How about the guy they got for Adams? Oh, Juan Yepes. Is Graham still here? Graham, where are you at? Tom Thumbs Blues is asking about Juan Yepes. Hold on. Oh, that's so good, you guys. So Juan Yepes is a third baseman / first baseman who ended up having a really, really solid couple last month and a half for the Cardinals. Once they moved him from third to first base, he's not a third baseman. They'll keep him at third base as long as they can. But he's a super interesting kid that is only 19 and played pretty well. You need to prepare better, never run out of beer. I did it on purpose. I've been drinking so much over the last couple months. It's bad, man. It's bad. So I'm trying to moderate. I'm trying to drink in moderation. I'm embarrassed by it, don't get me wrong. But he ended up, come on, Barbie, let's go party. Ooh, ooh. He ended up playing really well when he moved to first at Juan Yepes. He's interesting. He was only 19 at Peoria, which is a task. What about that Dykstra kid? Forget about the Dykstra kid. I hate to be that way, but JD Murders is fine. He's not great. He was a local kid. He's from the area, the Missouri area, and people were super excited about him. But there was a reason he was a 30th round pick or a plus 30 round pick. We'll get to Kramer Robertson here in a second. I'm impressed by how many people are interested in Kramer Robertson. But it wasn't just because he was going to be a tough sign. It was because he isn't the most talented kid. He's a great organizational depth piece. Wish Joe Kelly was still in St. Louis. So do I. Kramer Robertson, he's going to be a second baseman. He had a really good stint at Peoria last year. He'll probably be at Palm Beach or Springfield, I would think. Is it time for Walker Roberts to ditch being a hitter? No, not yet. He's still too young for that. And he actually showed improvement last year. His strikeout rate went down just a little bit, I think. His walk rate went up. And he had 9 doubles as opposed to last year when he only had 1. I like to see that. So he's making progress. But ultimately, it won't hurt to have a left-handed potential there from a relief perspective. Does spring training... No, because the Cardinals have a plan with what's going to happen at first and third base, and I think they're going to stick with it more than anything. Kyle Walker. So in our little group DM at Birds on the Black, Cup of Joe says that Walk is the number 2. Oh, and I can't disagree with him. So listen to Cup of Joe. He knows what's going on. I love that Luke Weaver though, and that's where that came from. I'm absolutely impressed. You know all this. You're the minor league. I'm kind of an asshole. Think of me more as the minor league asshole, the minor league drunkard. Oh, Lizard King VHS called me irreverent today. I'm the minor league irreverent. How about that? Whatever happened to Shelby Miller? Tommy John surgery, and he should be back at some point this year. Root for Shelby. I like Shelby. Shelby got a bad rap. He also got really shitty after his turn in Atlanta, so maybe he deserved that bad rap. Is Pham playing center every day? Yes, absolutely. And we should all be pretty damn happy about that, because that's some awesome stuff. Let's see. Kramer Robertson. What we talking about? We're talking about Kramer Robertson. We're talking about the minors. We're talking about booze. A while ago, I talked about my sandy testicles that I was willing to sell for Luis Robert. We talk about my head a lot. You can talk about whatever you want. We talk about pornography. Who gives a fuck? Just bring up anything. Lighten me why Deck should play right field. He shouldn't play right field, but that's what happens when you have the contract. You get to pick where you play. And he gets to play in right field because they signed him and he made that decision. Don't undercut yourself. You're a major league asshole. Yeah, I am. I'm the prospect irreverent and the major league asshole. I can get behind that. Let's see. It's 1:05. I have a little bit of beer left. Hold on. Put that up. I've got a little bit of beer left. Carpet first or third base. Should J. Martin or Jerko play more? I'm telling you that they're going to have a rotation. You'll see Carp play a little second. You'll see him play a little third. Hopefully not that much. Just to get J. Mart some reps at first. Jerko move around. They're going to be a pretty versatile team. It's going to be annoying. You guys are going to hate it. It's the love child of Grichuk and Dansby Swanson. I wouldn't even go that far. I like what you did there. It's a really interesting comparison because of like the way they look. That's good stuff. What is wrong with Mike Schultz's body? It has an internal flame that's melting him from the inside out. What's wrong with Mike Schultz's body is constructed of... It was part of a Jell-O mold that was constructed with pudding instead of Jell-O. What's wrong with Mike Schultz's body? It is made of feathers. And... what's wrong with Mike Schultz's body? It is a caterpillar in a cocoon that's waiting to become a butterfly. What are the chances... How about this? What are the chances that Delvin Perez reaches his potential? You should go see Peoria play in Clinton. Seriously. I might go see Peoria play in Peoria and in Clinton. I'm going to be moving all around this year. I can't wait to get into it. And I missed the damn question. My bad. Friggin' cards! Man, I'm sorry about that. I was on a thread and then I lost it. Do you guys... you have a lot of energy for a St. Louis person. I know. I'm a fucking mess, too. Let's see. Mike Schultz's body is the exact opposite of quick expanding foam. Construction joke. I get it. Great job. Oh, I love that Mike Schultz, though. It's just, you look at that guy and I think that guy's a computer programmer. I look at that guy and I think that guy would shoot Abraham Lincoln in the back of the head. And it's not about the person he is. I'm fine with it. I'll slap your face, you white piece of shit. Again, feel free. I like being slapped. I kind of get my rocks off that way. Come see the Springfield Cardinals play in Little Rock this summer. I'll be working. Oh, no shit. What are you going to do for the team? Tell me what you're doing for the team. I'd love to make a trip to Little Rock. That'd be a cool thing to do. Maybe try to pick out a home and home there. Oh, will Perez reach his potential? What I was going to say, and I want to stay focused on this one. What I want to say about Perez reaching his potential. Think about how hard it is for a young, raw player to reach their ultimate potential. We do a terrible job as evaluators of pumping these kids up and telling you that their potential is Jose Lindor, Carlos Correa. It's not fair to put those kids in that position. It's not fair for us to build up your hopes that way, but we still do it because it gets clicks and it gets your attention. I'm sorry about that. I'm trying to be better. I promise you I'll be better about it. But I bring all that up because to reach his potential is almost impossible because we built it up too high. For Jordan Hicks to reach his potential is almost impossible. You know, maybe 1-2% of all minor leaguers reach their potential. So, no, he never does. But that doesn't mean he can't be a serviceable major leaguer. It doesn't mean he can't be a perennial all-star. It's just, remember, when we drafted him, we were talking about a guy who could have been a top 5 pick and could have been, you know, I said he could be a perennial all-star. He could be like a moderate all-star or a 2-time all-star or something like that. That's what I meant to say. I'm sorry. He's not ever going to be a perennial all-star. That's a big ask. Now, he's 19. He has a lot of room to grow, but he also has a lot of room to mature. And until he matures, I mean, we're all fucked, honestly. It's a bad go. So, one last question. How long till John Mabry is canned and Buddha is promoted? It's funny you should say Mabry and Long, because the rumor is that guy's got a huge dick. How long before he's canned and Buddha is promoted? It's not going to happen. Boy, are you ready for the Super Bowl? No, I don't give a fuck about the Super Bowl. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't care. There's good food, and I get to get a little hammered if I don't have to work, so that's pretty awesome stuff. Is Super Bowl 59 in 1 week? I like where your head's at. I don't think you're right about number 59 or that it's in 1 week, but I appreciate it nonetheless. Hold on. Yeah, fuck yeah, gifts. You're damn right I got you excited about Kisner on the Twitter tweets there. Hold on. All right, so we've got one last little... I think if we were a slow start, maybe we'll be gone. I think you're right. I agree with that. So, the Colts take on the Eagles. That's right. It's the Colts versus the Packers. I think a slow start, maybe we can. So I agree with you. Mabry is the last scapegoat of the Matheny era. He'll be the last one sacrificed before Matheny is let go. And the good news is once we see that Mabry's let go, that means that Matheny's not too far behind. I do think that they're going to get off to a solid start. You know, if they're 500, they're not going to can anyone. If they're 10 games under 500, like they were last year on June 10th, then that's a different world. I love our coaching staff. Forever Cards, I agree, brother. Amen to that. Yeah, 3-9 start. They won't do anything. If they got up to a 3, so do you continue to drink post? I normally do. Continue to drink post Periscope, but for the last couple of weeks I've been trying to cut down on my liquor intake. So this will be it for me, and then I'll switch to hot tea. It's already 10:15. Are you kidding me? Guys, this has been so much fun. I love doing this. Again, we apologize for the technical difficulties to start our little presentation over on YouTube, YouTube Live. We're going to get that sorted out. It's going to be great. Just a quick little update on what we're doing over at Birds on the Black. We are 2 prospect write-ups into our top 30 prospect countdown. Tomorrow we'll have prospect number 28, which is Alvaro Sejas, rather. I will try to do a weekly Periscope or YouTube Live once we get that figured out. I want to do a prospect Q&A, which we're calling the Prospect Macarena, in honor of Joe Strauss, who is my writing idol. And we're going to start calling these Prospects After Dark because we drink and we talk about balls and we drop the F-bomb and we have fun. How do we get updates ahead of time up for these? I'll do my best to tweet about them. They'll be the Birds on the Black will tweet. Instead of giving like an hour and a half notice, like at noontime, we'll give an update. Like, hey, I'm periscoping tonight, so we can get just like Tara said. Hey, Tara, welcome to the little chat here. Subscribe to the YouTube channel and subscribe to Birds on the Black. It's free. You'll get extra stuff from Cards Gifts, who does amazing stuff. Like I said, I personally, I'm optimistic about Matheny this year with Schilt, Maddox. I agree. Forever Cards, thank you so much for interacting with me regularly on Twitter. Thank you so much for being a part of these Periscopes, man. You're a great person, and you brought the questions tonight, and they were all fantastic. I'm old and have too many kids to be on top of this shit. That's fine. Well, again, if you can, subscribe to Birds on the Black, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you'll get phone notifications. I promise I will do a better job of getting ahead of things so that we can let you know. And again, Thumbs, thank you for participating in this. You and Forever, everyone was just absolutely fantastic. Again, we had amazing, great questions. Oh, hey, D Jones 9, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Again, I mess around, man. I just want to have fun. I want to talk baseball and have fun and say ridiculous, cool things, and enjoy the company of Cardinal fandom. And tonight we had just a great mix. Then Tom Thumbs Blues, we promise you won't miss them. Well, I'll do everything I can. If I remember, I'll DM you. Hey, thanks for taking part in it. Here, to you, to everyone. Yeah. Again, subscribe to Birds on the Black. We'll get you extra content. We'll get you free stuff. It's incredible. Top 30 prospect at Birds on the Black. Incredible. soon, I think tomorrow, Bruno Cards is going to have his part 3 of his 2017 recap. You're not going to want to miss that. He's going to go after some people. Tomorrow might be the one that really ends up being, hey, thank you, the one that gets everyone's attention. And again, top 30 prospects. I'm proud of the work that Colin and I have done over at Birds on the Black. Colin is incredible. Or at Redbird Daily. He's with Redbird Daily. I'm at Birds on the Black. All the guys at Redbird Daily are great. The guys at Birds on the Black and are amazing. We're going to have a really special announcement about a new member joining Birds on the Black, and I'm so excited about it. This person is one of the most talented people you're going to find on Twitter, one of the most talented people you're going to find associated with the Cardinals. And you know what I mean? Like, I can tell you right now that being a part of what's going on at Birds on the Black is one of the most amazing things I've ever taken part of from a creative standpoint. So subscribe to the YouTube channel, subscribe to our website. We're going to get you the best content you're going to find in relationship to the Cards. And it's a privilege to be a part of it. But more importantly, it was a privilege to be a part of this with you guys. We'll try everything we can to make this happen once a week. So for everybody, hey, everyone here have a nice night as well. So for everybody at Birds on the Black, for Cardinals Gifts, who is an amazing, amazing man who hopefully I get to meet in LA here in a matter of months. For the Cardinals Red Ribbon Committee, who got it right tonight. Langford, HOF, 2018. Vote for this man. And again, for myself, this was incredible. I can't thank you guys enough. And happy hunting.